Chapter 1913. Skeleton Hell, Experimenting with Spells.
Die.
A roar echoed in Lin Moyu's soul, the roar shaking his soul, stirring up waves, and crashing against his soul world. The purple jade wall of the soul world blocked all the impacts. For an ordinary god venerable, they might be affected and momentarily lose focus. But for Lin Moyu, this level of soul impact could be completely ignored. The silver giant snake belonged to the silver snake lineage of the Three Silver Clan, with a realm of 7th level god venerable, a high-level god venerable. It discovered Lin Moyu and launched a sneak attack on him. Lin Moyu was too peculiar. He was in the midst of the battlefield yet remained motionless, more like a bystander. His own aura was only at the 1st level of god venerable, at the bottom of the battlefield. If the opponent was smart enough, they might have thought about whether such a peculiar existence as Lin Moyu would be dangerous. But the Three Silver Clan god venerable before him wasn't that smart, or perhaps he was blinded by bloodlust, seeing Lin Moyu and directly attacking. His eyes were blazing with a fierce light, bright red. The purple golden fist hit its sharp fangs directly. There was no scene of fangs crushing the fist as imagined. Both sides collided with a boom, and the silver snake god venerable let out a scream, quickly flying backward. Lin Moyu's fist was unharmed, while fine cracks appeared on its fangs.
This is impossible.
The silver snake god venerable screamed. Lin Moyu smiled.
Nothing is impossible.
As he spoke, he pointed his finger, and the starry sky erupted like a volcano, with undying flames gushing out. A huge throne appeared, and the Skeleton King slowly rose from the throne. The Skeleton King emitted an aura of a 9th level god venerable, firmly locking onto the silver snake god venerable. The silver snake god venerable's scales stood on end, and it screamed sharply.
No, you're not a 1st level god venerable. You're not.
The only response was the Skeleton King's sword, God-slaying strike. As the sword light flashed, the silver snake god venerable's scream suddenly stopped. Its body was torn apart in the sword light, along with its soul being shattered. Its dying gaze was filled with fear, and also a longing for life. Already a god venerable, it could have lived for a long time. It didn't want to die, but it was useless. Its life had come to an end, and its consciousness was rapidly sinking into darkness. A flash of gray light appeared, and at the moment of its death, the skeleton hell enveloped it. Hellfire was boiling, and countless hell fiends were roaring. After the god venerable realm, the skeleton hell had evolved to the white star level, undergoing a qualitative change. The former hell slaves were gone, all transformed into hell fiends. The white star level skeleton hell seemed to have truly opened the gates of hell, releasing the truly terrifying fiends from hell. Those former hell slaves had all become food for the hell fiends. Now, as the skeleton hell enveloped the silver snake god venerable, countless fiends roared out from the hellfire, directly dividing and devouring it, leaving not even a bit of bone. Lin Moyu watched this scene, his gaze flickering.
The hell fiends seem to all be around the 5th level of god venerable. It seems they still need a lot of feeding to become powerful. If that's the case, then let's feed you well and see how much you can grow.
Lin Moyu stopped watching and actively sought opponents. He set his sights on a battle formation, composed of 100 god venerables. Most of the 100 god venerables in the formation were low-level, with the strongest only at the 5th level of god venerable. Forming a battle formation, they could probably exert the power of a high-level god venerable. The Three Silver Clan formed such battle formations to barely contend with the human race's peak god venerables. However, the gap between god venerables was too large, especially since the human race had deployed all peak god venerables this time, with combat power far beyond ordinary god venerables. Even if they could contend temporarily, they would still be defeated given enough time. The undying flames burned again, and a second Skeleton King throne appeared in the starry sky, followed by a second Skeleton King. The Skeleton King gathered the power of the skeleton generals, able to gather the combat power of up to 100 million skeleton generals. Lin Moyu had 500 million skeleton generals, and he could summon 5 such 9th level god venerable skeleton kings simultaneously. In the undying flames, the second and third skeleton kings appeared together. The god-slaying strike was swung, and the sword light exploded, instantly shattering a battle formation. As the formation collapsed, the god venerables inside suffered heavy casualties. The skeleton hell appeared, enveloping these god venerables. Hellfire erupted, covering the entire hell world, and countless hell fiends flew out from the flames, launching fierce attacks on the god venerables.
What are these things? Get away! Get away quickly! Damn it, what the hell are these things? These things attack the soul. Everyone be careful.
The hell fiends had no laws, and their attack methods were very simple, just pouncing and biting. But their attacks were strange, neither law attacks nor physical attacks. Each bite on a god venerable could tear off large pieces of flesh. Not only was flesh bitten off, but even large pieces of soul were torn away. Lin Moyu observed,
The hell fiends don't attack the physical body. They truly attack the soul. Each bite that seems to be on the physical body is actually on the soul, which then feeds back to the physical body. Moreover, they have extremely high immunity to laws, don't fear injury, and feel no pain. They truly deserve to be called fiends, indeed terrifying.
As the master of the skeleton hell, Lin Moyu quickly understood the attack method of the hell fiends. The hell fiends directly caused damage to the soul, and the flesh bitten from the soul would synchronously reflect on the physical body. They appeared to be torn to pieces, but in reality, it was the soul that was truly injured. Under the cover of the skeleton hell, countless god venerables bled and screamed incessantly. Blood flowed everywhere, forming rivers. Lin Moyu saw that a real river appeared in the skeleton hell, with raging flames burning in the river, forming a river of fire. It should be said that this river had always existed, but the blood of the god venerables activated it, turning it into a hellfire river. The skeleton hell appeared increasingly real, more and more like a true hell. The fiends seemed to be infected by the flames, becoming more and more ferocious and terrifying. The roars from hell echoed in the starry sky, accompanied by the screams of the god venerables, making one's hair stand on end. Compared to the battles elsewhere, the scene on Lin Moyu's side was more horrifying. A powerful aura approached, and Lin Moyu felt he was being targeted again. Several battle formations were coming at him from all directions.
Very good, I'll use you as test subjects.
Lin Moyu chuckled lightly, pointing his finger at the void above him. Another burst of undying flames burned fiercely, instantly darkening the entire starry sky, as if changing heaven and earth. White star level spell, Undead Gaze. A giant eye over 10 million meters wide appeared in the flames. This eye was extremely indifferent, without emotion, with gray flames burning in it, making one's heart tremble just by looking at it. The undead gaze swept over, causing ripples in the starry sky. A terrifying soul attack descended, and a battle formation instantly collapsed. The god venerables in the formation screamed incessantly, their souls damaged, a pain that even god venerables found hard to bear.
Not bad. Let's try this one.
Lin Moyu pointed out his hand again. White star level spell, Time Curse, red light spread, and red knife marks appeared above the heads of 100 god venerables in a battle formation. The formation collapsed on the spot, the power of the curse directly damaging the soul, making it impossible to maintain the formation. Then time suddenly accelerated, and all the curse damage burst out at 1,000 times the speed. Screams followed one after another, and the 3 Silver Clan god venerables curled up in agony, trembling painfully in the starry sky. 1914. Chapter 1914. Our human race also has the space law now. Skeleton Hell, Undead Gaze, Time Curse. Although the 3 spells were different, they all targeted the soul without exception. Lin Moyu's gaze held a thoughtful look.
If these 3 spells were combined and used together, the effect might be even better.
Thinking of it, he immediately acted, locking onto the nearest battle formation. The skeleton hell instantly expanded, enveloping the formation. The undead gaze also looked over. At the same time, Lin Moyu pointed his finger, activating the time curse. With these 3 attacks combined, the battle formation collapsed without surprise. The god venerables inside screamed as they were surrounded by hell fiends. Then red light flickered, and half of the god venerables died on the spot without any resistance. Afterward, the curse accelerated, and all the god venerables fell into a daze, completely losing their ability to resist.
The effect is not bad. It seems only those above the 5th level of God Venerable can slightly resist. Even those at the 4th level of God Venerable can't hold on for long. As for those below the 4th level, they're almost instantly killed.
Lin Moyu was very satisfied with the power of the spells. Although in front of the undead army, these god venerables were originally not much of a threat. If the skeleton kings acted, they would only be waiting for death. But that was different. Now the skeleton hell was still only taking shape, and the hell fiends inside still needed a lot of feeding to truly grow. The undead gaze had a terrifying area of effect attack ability. One glance could kill countless enemies. Almost all defensive laws were ineffective against the undead gaze. As for the time curse, it was currently just a curse, but Lin Moyu had greater ambitions for it. Most crucially, soul attacks could interrupt the enemy's actions. This had an extremely strong effect on controlling the battle situation. The skeleton hell expanded to its maximum, covering millions of miles of space. Those god venerables who had come to surround Lin Moyu were all enveloped by the skeleton hell, about to become food for the hell fiends. The hellfire river flowed turbulently, becoming increasingly fierce, with large amounts of god venerable blood churning within it. Some hell fiends drank the blood from the fire river, becoming increasingly powerful. The battlefield became somewhat strange. Everywhere else was fighting fiercely, but around Lin Moyu, it was gloomy and terrifying. Hundreds of god venerables lay in space in various strange postures, enveloped by a seemingly real yet unreal world, waiting for death to descend. Lin Moyu stood in space, taking no action, as if he were an innocent bystander. But everyone knew he was the instigator. No one dared to approach Lin Moyu anymore. Just a glance from afar was enough to know how terrifying this fellow was. 3 skeleton kings and tens of millions of skeleton generals together charged into the depths of the 3 Silver Clan, slaughtering indiscriminately. Their existence greatly reduced the pressure on the human race's god venerables. Lin Moyu alone was an army, and even more terrifying than an ordinary army. After the skeleton hell had devoured hundreds of god venerables, Lin Moyu began to look for new targets. His hell fiends were still hungry. After devouring these god venerables, Lin Moyu could clearly feel that the fiends had become a bit stronger. The more they devoured, the stronger the hell fiends became. However, ordinary god venerables seemed to be too slow. Even in large numbers, they didn't have much effect. 2202/23692203 section. Faced with quantity versus quality, Lin Moyu decisively chose the latter. His gaze turned to the depths of space, where the battlefield of the other shore realm beings was located. Lin Moyu took a step forward, and his entire person instantly disappeared, reappearing in space a million miles away the next second. Then he took another step, again crossing a million miles. Some human race god venerables saw this scene, their pupils suddenly contracting, then exploding with disbelief.
The space law.
Lin Moyu emitted a faint wave of law, which was very peculiar. It was indeed the space law. More god venerables discovered this point, becoming excited one after another.
The space law. It really is the space law. Our human race has finally comprehended the space law. Junior brother Lin is still impressive, even able to comprehend the space law. No wonder the Saint Venerables value him so much. The outside world also calls him the second war god. He indeed has this qualification. At the first level of God Venerable, killing high-level God Venerables as easily as cutting melons and vegetables.
Lin Moyu's sudden display of the space law was like a stimulant, causing all the human race god venerables to suddenly burst out with even more terrifying combat power. They became more vicious in their attacks, and although outnumbered, They forced the three Silver Clan to retreat step by step. Lin Moyu took one step after another, quickly charging into the more terrifying battlefield. This was the battlefield of God Venerables without battle formations, all peak God Venerables. The strongest among the human race God Venerables were battling against the strongest peak God Venerables of the three Silver Clan. Although not as grand as the other Shore Realm battle, it was equally terrifying. Each of their attacks could shatter star rivers and destroy star systems. Lin Moyu's entire body was enveloped in purple golden light. The powerful defense of the purple golden body allowed him to remain unscathed amidst the aftermath of the peak God Venerables battles. Lin Moyu's appearance quickly drew attention. For a mere first-level God Venerable to dare come here was indeed audacious. A silver heron God Venerable casually flapped its wings towards Lin Moyu. Countless silver lights swept towards Lin Moyu. It didn't mind casually wiping out Lin Moyu. Lin Moyu also looked at it.
It's you then.
Undying flames erupted, covering a large area of the starry sea. A total of 5 skeleton king thrones appeared in space, and 5 skeleton kings rose simultaneously. The silver light fell on Lin Moyu, and the purple golden body burst forth with dazzling light, blocking all attacks for Lin Moyu, leaving him unharmed. After the attack, the purple golden light dimmed significantly. After all, it was an attack from a peak God Venerable. Even if it was just a casual strike, it wasn't easy to block. One more such attack, and the purple golden body would surely collapse. Seeing Lin Moyu unharmed, the Silver Heron Clan God Venerable showed an expression of disbelief. How could a mere first-level God Venerable possibly block its attack? What was this purple golden light? It seemed to have never seen or heard of it before. But Lin Moyu wouldn't give it another chance. With a thought, the skeleton hell instantly enveloped it. Countless hell fiends pounced towards it, biting down. The peak God Venerable soul was powerful, already at the peak of the 4th grade, possibly even with Jade soul generating purple. Its soul defense was incomparable to those 3rd or 4th level God Venerables. When the fiends bit down, there was no scene of flesh being torn open. But the soul being attacked was still uncomfortable. The Silver Heron God Venerable roared.
What the hell is this thing?
It waved its laws, containing the power of rules, instantly destroying many fiends. The fiends wouldn't die. They would reform not long after. These were terrifying beings from hell. As long as hell didn't perish, they wouldn't die. Lin Moyu knew the hell fiends couldn't handle a peak God Venerable. What he wanted was just to mark it. As soon as the Silver Heron God Venerable attacked, the skeleton hell completed its marking, and Lin Moyu immediately locked onto it. The 5 skeleton kings swung their swords simultaneously. God-slaying strike. A bright light enveloped the Silver Heron God Venerable's entire body. Within the sword light, the Silver Heron God Venerable let out a sky-shaking scream. Its wings were severed, and countless wounds burst open on its body, blood flowing freely. All this blood fused into the skeleton hell, making the hellfire river even more intense. The Silver Heron God Venerable, filled with terror, turned to flee.
You can't escape.
Lin Moyu pointed his finger, and red light instantly flashed. The Silver Heron God Venerable immediately slowed down. It was cursed, all its functions rapidly regressing. Then the curse accelerated and erupted, causing it to let out another sky-shaking scream. At this moment, a human race God Venerable seized the opportunity. A flying sword shot out, instantly growing larger, sweeping across the Silver Heron God Venerable's body. The Silver Heron God Venerable's body shattered with a boom. Its soul also severed along with it. More hell fiends pounced upon it. 1915. Chapter 1915. Purple Light Silver Snake, Other Shore Realm Beast. The human race's God Venerable laughed heartily.
Well done. Junior Brother Lin's combat power is truly admirable.
He praised Lin Moyu without any reservation. After entangling with the Silver Heron God Venerable for a long time, he didn't expect that with Lin Moyu's help, the opponent would be dealt with in just a few moves. Lin Moyu's spells were indeed extremely powerful. The 5 skeleton kings, each 10,000 meters tall, could directly severely injure the opponent. Lin Moyu said,
"Thank you, senior brother. Go support the others." "All right, junior brother Lin, be careful."
He responded readily and then flew towards the nearest battlefield. In the skeleton hell, the hell fiends were still devouring the silver heron god Venerable. The power of a peak god Venerable was not to be underestimated. The hell fiends were not yet strong enough, and devouring it would take some time. However, Lin Moyu could already feel that the hell fiends were rapidly growing stronger. His gaze searched the starry sky, looking at various battlefields, seeking the next target. With the eye of the soul activated, Lin Moyu could clearly see the fluctuations of power on each battlefield. It didn't take long for Lin Moyu to lock onto his next target. The human race's god venerables were strong, but the three Silver Clan also had powerful god venerables, especially since these three Silver Clan members were actually all soul-devouring clan members. After 10,000 years of dormancy, the soul-devouring clan had infiltrated all races, from saints to super gods. Many secret techniques and spells of various races had also been leaked. In several battlefields, the human race's god venerables were not gaining the upper hand and were even being suppressed. Lin Moyu's targets were these god venerables who were at a disadvantage. A few minutes later, the hell fiends finished devouring the silver heron god venerable, leaving only a few feathers. Lin Moyu had deliberately left these feathers to use as materials for corpse explosion. Even in death, a peak god venerable was still utilized by Lin Moyu, which was a kind of sorrow. Lin Moyu took a step, activating the space law, and followed the spatial currents, appearing 1,000,000 miles away, right in the middle of a battlefield. Two god venerables were in a fierce battle, and the three Silver Clan god venerable looked down on Lin Moyu. A first-level god venerable was someone he could easily kill and wouldn't affect the battle. The human race's god venerable, however, showed a flash of joy in his eyes. He knew part of Lin Moyu's background and understood that Lin Moyu's combat power was actually very strong. Lin Moyu instantly entered the battlefield, pointed his finger, and the skeleton hell activated, enveloping the entire battlefield. The hell fiends surged out madly, pouncing on the three Silver Clan god venerable. Section 2203/2369-2204. Having tested all his spells, Lin Moyu chose a simpler and quicker way to fight. The three Silver Clan god venerable instinctively counterattacked, allowing Lin Moyu to successfully mark him. Then, the few feathers in his hand turned to ash. White star-level spell, corpse explosion. With a loud bang, the three Silver Clan god venerable, who was in the midst of battle, let out a miserable scream, blood spraying out, and his body was almost blown apart.
"Still not dead, truly strong."
He had withstood an explosion equivalent to a self-destruct from a god venerable of the same realm, only severely injured but not killed, proving his strength. But that didn't matter. If one explosion didn't kill him, then two would. Or he could let the Skeleton King finish him off. There were many ways to kill him. The three Silver Clan god venerable was extremely terrified. One moment he had the upper hand, the next he was on the brink of death. He quickly took out a silver token, which activated instantly, forming a giant silver dog. This giant silver dog had two heads, one spewing red flames and the other blue frost, both looking extremely ferocious. The human race's god venerable urgently warned,
"Be careful, this is the Ice and Fire Two-Headed Dog, once a saint of the Silver Dog clan."
Lin Moyu understood that the token should contain the power of a saint. However, the Ice and Fire Two-Headed Dog had fallen tens of thousands of years ago, and the token likely only contained its will, not its soul. Without a soul, it could at most reach the other shore realm and wouldn't last long. Lin Moyu remained calm.
"Senior, please retreat. Leave this to me."
As he spoke, he took out a skeleton. It was also the skeleton of a peak god venerable, one of Lin Moyu's previous stocks. He had several such stocks. Although he had many ways to kill the opponent, using corpse explosion was simpler. Before the opponent could react, the skeleton turned to ash. With a loud bang, The peak god venerable of the Three Silver Clan was completely blown to pieces. The hell fiends pounced out, devouring him. The ice and fire two-headed dog had formed, seemingly inheriting the will of the deceased, and locked its gaze on Lin Moyu. Lin Moyu chuckled and released the undying flames. 5 skeleton kings appeared in response, standing in front of him. Immediately, countless skeleton generals flew out, fighting alongside the skeleton kings. To deal with the power left by a saint, there was no need for a direct confrontation. Just consuming its power would suffice. After sending out the skeleton kings and tens of millions of skeleton generals, Lin Moyu no longer paid attention to it. If it wanted to kill him, it would have to break through the undead army first. The ice and fire two-headed dog was surrounded by the undead army. It fought madly to break through but could never succeed against the skeleton kings. Golden light flickered in the starry sky, and the golden armor talisman provided the undead army with astonishing defense, turning the entire army into an indestructible shield. If a true other shore realm being arrived, it might break through. But now, it was just a remnant of a saint's power, impossible to break through.
Senior brother, go support elsewhere.
Lin Moyu said loudly to the human race's god venerable who had just recovered. The god venerable was stunned for a moment, then nodded.
All right.
He turned and flew towards the nearest battlefield. Suddenly, Lin Moyu's expression changed, and he shouted,
Come back.
As he spoke, Lin Moyu took a step forward, instantly catching up, with a golden sword appearing in his hand. Boom! Golden light exploded, and the golden sword formed a golden shield, protecting both of them. In front of the golden sword, a giant snake appeared. The giant snake shimmered with silver light, with countless purple spots within the silver light. At first glance, it looked like a member of the Three Silver Clan, but it wasn't. This was a starry sky beast and other shore realm starry sky beast. The god venerable explained in a low voice,
This is a starry sky beast raised by the silver snake lineage of the Three Silver Clan, the purple light silver snake. However, there aren't many purple light silver snakes, and even fewer have reached the other shore realm.
Lin Moyu didn't delve into the root of the problem. It was meaningless. The current situation was that he had to face an other shore realm starry sky beast. The purple light silver snake spat out a purple beam, hitting the golden shield. The golden shield roared continuously, and Lin Moyu and the god venerable were pushed back. Lin Moyu said in a low voice,
Senior brother, you go first. I'll handle this thing.
The god venerable looked at Lin Moyu with a complex expression.
Junior brother Lin, you should go first. I'll hold it off.
Lin Moyu chuckled.
What I mean is, I want to try killing it.
Huh? He knew Lin Moyu was very strong, capable of fighting peak god venerables as a first-level god venerable. But saying he could kill an other shore realm being seemed a bit unbelievable. Lin Moyu continued to explain.
I have treasures given by the saints. Even if I can't kill it, I can protect myself. Senior brother, go support elsewhere. Don't worry about me.
Hearing Lin Moyu's explanation, he finally made a decision.
My name is Susanyu. I'll thank you properly later, Junior brother Lin.
1916.